Right, so life as a giant anaconda, it's a life. Mostly spent submerged in murky water, which, let's be honest, smells vaguely of fish and something vaguely less fish. But hey, it's home. My apartment complex is the Amazon basin. Prime real estate, if you like humidity and the occasional caiman trying to crash on your couch, aka a submerged log I'm currently napping on. People think we're all slithery and menacing, just waiting to constrict some unsuspecting jaguar. Sure, that's part of the job description, but mostly it's a lot of waiting. Waiting for dinner to wander by. Waiting for the sun to warm my cold-blooded self. Waiting for the rainy season to end so I can finally shed this itchy skin. It's like being a professional ambush predator, which basically means I'm a master of doing absolutely nothing until it's time to do something very, very quickly. Speaking of dinner, let's talk about the culinary delights of the Amazon. It's a diverse menu, I'll give it that. Capybaras are always a classic, plump, juicy, and surprisingly fast for something that looks like a giant guinea pig. Caimans? A bit more of a challenge, what with the teeth and the snappy attitude, but a satisfying meal nonetheless. Fish? Sure, if I'm feeling peckish. Birds? A bit too flighty. And the occasional lost tourist? Just kidding. Mostly. Look, I'm an apex predator, not a monster. I have standards. I prefer my meals pre-stunned, thank you very much. Constricting is hard work, and I'm a big snake. I get tired easily. The best part about being an anaconda? No alarm clock. I wake up when I'm hungry, or when the sun gets too hot, or when a particularly noisy monkey is disturbing my nap. My schedule is dictated by my stomach, the weather, and the general level of chaos in the jungle. It's a pretty sweet gig, if you can handle the occasional parasite. The worst part? Finding a decent shed. Shedding is like having a full body sunburn that itches like crazy. And the only way to relieve it is to wriggle out of your old skin, which is easier said than done when you're 10 feet long and living in a swamp. It's a process. A long, frustrating, and often muddy process. Imagine trying to peel off a tight-fitting sock that covers your entire body. Now imagine doing it while submerged in murky water and surrounded by piranhas. Fun times. And the reputation, we're portrayed as these monstrous man-eating beasts. Sure, we're big. Sure, we can constrict things. But we're not evil. We're just trying to survive. Just like everyone else. We're not out to get you. Unless you happen to be a capybara. In which case, you're fair game. It's the circle of life, people. Or, as I like to call it, the circle of I'm hungry, where's dinner? And the myths! Oh, the myths. People think we can grow to be the size of a school bus. Please. We're big, but we're not that big. And the stories about us swallowing people whole? Okay, maybe a small child, but a full-grown adult? Come on. We're not gluttons. Besides, humans are surprisingly bony, not very digestible. I prefer something a bit more tender. And the scientists, they're always poking and prodding, trying to figure out our secrets. How do you get so big, they ask. How do you breathe underwater? Why are you so grumpy? The answer to all those questions is, I'm a giant anaconda. That's what I do. Leave me alone, I'm trying to nap. But despite the shedding woes, the bad reputation, and the occasional existential crisis, what is the meaning of life? Is it just eating and sleeping? And why is this log so uncomfortable? I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I'm a giant anaconda. I'm a force of nature. I'm big. And that's pretty cool. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear a capybara calling my name. Or maybe it's just the sound of the river. Either way, I'm feeling peckish. And I think I saw a particularly plump-looking something wander by. Dinner time, just try not to get too close. You've been warned. And don't believe everything you see in the movies. We're not that dramatic, unless we're really, really hungry.